For my final project, I chose to create an end-of-year unit to be done with high school students. Ideally, this would be done with ninth grade or 12th grade. I chose to name it Mental Health, Big Feelings, and High School. I had the great honor of attending ASU for my undergraduate degree. I have a bachelor's in secondary education. However, I chose to refrain from teaching and opted to stay at home and rear my own children. While not an easy choice, it was ultimately the best one for our family. Watching my babies grow into toddlers and then into big kids has been an absolute pleasure. The transition from middle school to high school is a huge leap for many students. And again, the transition from high school into college can be quite difficult for many. As educators, we are duty-bound to not only help our students gain knowledge, we must help them learn to navigate the way they are feeling. Mental health and wellness is perhaps viewed as something only adults need worry about, yet educators know the immense amount of pressure students can be under to perform academically and socially. This unit is designed to work with other subjects. In fact, it would work best with the aid of a history teacher and a health or PE teacher. According to the Australian Journal of Psychology, adolescence and young adulthood are critical periods in which to promote mental health and provide assistance to access support and interventions for mental health problems. We see these teens so much throughout an academic year. We're better to promote discussion than a classroom. Obviously, students will want to know why they are going to be doing this unit. Guiding them through a discussion in class using the questions provided may help many of them flesh out the answer. And the most obvious answer to why is because all people feel, and all people need a place to talk, to write, and to read about those feelings. Silent discussion is an excellent second day activity. Students are placed into 4 groups. Each group will begin at a table around one feeling written on a poster board. Students will then write down the first thoughts that come to mind about that feeling. Allow for no more than 5 minutes per station. You will want to discuss these posters with the students. From silent discussion, we will transition into a mini poetry unit. Poems are a beautiful way for teens to express themselves, and especially through slam poetry. The depth of emotion seen in slams are breathtaking, and students will have the opportunity to explore their own feelings in a very real way. This also allows them to use multimedia. This will be a fun week to do with the students. The emotions we'll be discussing are very big ones. In giving students a break from discussion and writing, they will potentially feel more at ease to share where they see examples of these emotions on TV and in films. Finding a clip to share with the class will be their assignment this week. Ideally, a youth lens would have been introduced earlier in the year. This week, and this unit, you will want to refer back to it often. Great school-friendly things to watch would be clips from Romeo and Juliet starring Leonardo DiCaprio, or clips from Freaks and Geeks, or even Pretty Little Liars. Literature circles will make up the bulk of this unit. The previous weeks are to prime the students for the novels carefully chosen for their age group by the teacher. An email home to parents allowing them to preview the novels may be a good idea, as some of the issues are discussed very frankly. Every English teacher will run literature circles differently, and that is fine. The major takeaway for literature circles should not be study guides. They are stifling for students and teachers. Rather, create a couple guiding questions for your note takers to help foster true discussion within the groups. We Are Okay is a breathtaking and emotional novel. Marin is the main character dealing with a myriad of emotions. The chapters are split between past and present, and students need to make sure they pay attention to when they are in Marin's timeline. You may also want to have tissues on hand for your more sensitive students. This one made me cry. Eleanor and Park takes place in the 80s. These two are very different people from very different families. Both struggle to find their place in school and are outsiders, but they fall in love anyway. There will be some very heavy topics at hand with this book, especially when it comes to Eleanor. Be encouraging and thoughtful with students as they struggle to discuss this book. Every day can be a challenge to get into. The main character goes by A and is neither male nor female. A just is A. A wakes up inside a new body every single day of their life. This could be a hard concept for some students to grasp. There are discussions of sex in this book, so teachers may want to give parents a heads up. All American Boys has some big themes to discuss. The book opens with Rashad, an African American boy, being brutally beaten by a white cop. Each chapter jumps from Rashad to Quinn. Quinn witnesses this attack and knows the cop personally. This book calls into question much about our society and about when to stand up to injustice. Monitor these discussions to help students stay on track. Climbing the Stairs takes place in India during World War II. Vidya is a young woman brought up in a rather liberal household. She is allowed to go to school, to play sports, and speak her mind. When her father sustains a severe injury, her life is turned upside down. She must now live in a very conservative household where her freedoms are very limited. Since this unit is designed to be an end-of-year unit, the final projects can be more fun. The list provided is but a snapshot of ideas. Let the students have fun after reading these heavy books. But of course, allow for the option to write a paper for your shy students. Modeling understanding of how your students feel will show them what empathy is more than anything else. Reading and talking about emotions and feelings is hard. Many students may think it's stupid, and there is room for discussion on why they feel that way. In doing this unit, you will create at least one space where students can feel safe emotionally. This will also help them learn empathy, which should always be a goal in teaching young people. Thank you for listening and reading my presentation. If you should need to contact me, please comment below and I will reach out to you. Do not take off the works cited portion of this presentation. While the words spoken are mine, the text and articles are not. Thank you again.